Welcome to Fit After 40 Velo. Thanks for jumping into this Zone 2 talk. My name's Andrew, and I look forward to chatting with you about different topics along the way. If you enjoy this type of content, I'd really appreciate a like, a subscribe. If you have a question or a comment, drop those in the chat below, and I'll be sure to answer them. Thanks a lot. Stick around. Okay, welcome back to Fit After 40 Velo. Happy to have you back. Just kind of in the middle of a Zone 2 session today, and we'll have ourselves a Zone 2 talk. Today, we'll talk about 5 habits to get you to 20% or less body fat. Plus one bonus habit that I feel is really important. So stick around to the end and find out what that bonus habit is. So what does it mean to get to 20% body fat? I'm not there. I'm probably just over by a little bit. I'll be well under it by the summer, as long as I stick with my plan and do these 5 habits along the way. So number 1, prioritize protein in your meals, and just meals in general. So important. Try to get 1 gram of protein per pound of your goal body weight. So that'll help preserve your muscle. It'll increase satiety. Satiety. Sorry, I'm trying to recall the word. Let me preface all this. I am not a doctor or a trainer. I simply have done a lot of research. I know what works for me, and I'm sharing my personal experience and what's gotten me to where I am. So sticking with the meals, protein is so good for you. Keeps your metabolism high, especially when you're trying to cut weight and you need to, eat something with a lot of protein, but not a lot of calories. So, chicken breast is a favorite of a lot of people. It's low calorie, high protein. Lean red meat. I love lean red meat. That's one thing that I won't go without. But I think you also need to kind of balance your meals. But prioritizing protein in your meals, number 1. Number 2, we're going to stick with eating, is mastering the volume in which you eat. So how much do you put on a plate to lose weight but still maintain a healthy amount of energy, not trick your metabolism, right? Like people that go really, really high calorie deficit. So, people that are eating 5, 6, 7, 800 calories in a whole day, and that's all they have. Eventually your body says, whoa, I'm not getting enough calories. I need to store what I'm getting. So you lose energy. You end up and store even those low calories, you start to store, and that's where people plateau when they go on these crazy calorie deficits. So, eating the right amount is so important. So half your plate, try to get high fiber, non-starchy vegetables, right? Per meal, if you're doing, 1,800 calories, 1,500 calories a day, per meal, you're looking at a good 200 calories of those high fiber, non-starchy veggies. I'm a sucker for potatoes, so sorry, I'm gonna eat some potatoes. It helps manage your hunger, lower on calories generally, and that really helps your body composition, kind of shift to being used to eating that. So on your plate, you got a lot of protein, high fiber, non-starchy vegetables. That's 1 and 2. Next thing, we're gonna get away from your diet. So number 3, lift heavy weights. Resistance training 3 to 4 times a week, using compound movements to boost your metabolism. And So what that is, you know, lifting weight, and not just standard one directional weight, not, you know, the machines that only let you really kind of limit it. Free weights, in my opinion, are the way to go. You can really do the kind of double movements. You can get your legs, your core, all that will get involved in that. But yeah, by doing strength training, that kind of change you from thin, which I am thin. I'm not a fan of lifting weights, but I do it. That'll change your body from a thin body to an athletic body, which for guys in their 40s like I am, 50s, 30s, whatever that may be, ladies, you know, same ages, right? When we get into that 50 plus, 60 years old, building muscle mass is a lot harder. You can do it, it's just a lot harder. Whereas if you build your muscle mass in your 20s, 30s, 40s, now you're going into those later years of 50, 60, where you're still strong, athletic, ready to rock and roll, right? But you can maintain that muscle mass a little easier if you've got it there earlier. So that's what I'm working on now, doing some strength training. Number 4, hit a lot of steps, right? Non-exercise activity. So just general walking, 8 to 10,000 steps. If you can do that, give me a second, I better put a little power in to catch up here to my pacer. I don't want to lose him. Part of doing a zone 2 ride is, you know, getting in zone 2 and staying in zone 2 for me on my bike. But I want to stay with the pacer who helps keep me there. So yeah, as I was saying, get those steps. It keeps the fat burning engine inside of you moving. Keeps that going in between meals, in between workout, in between sedentary moments, right? A lot of us have office jobs. Unfortunately, I get trapped in my office in meetings or in boardrooms in meetings for a majority of my day. I'm fortunate. My job also allows me to get out and do a lot of walking out on the floor. So yeah, I generally get my steps in at work. I don't have to really focus when I get home. When I get home, I can focus with my kids, but everybody's different. Some people have to sit or stand at their computer. You know, get one of those little short walking treadmills and a standing desk and walk while you work. That'll help get you some steps. But really getting the what we call non-exercise activity in really helps keep that engine burning fat. Okay, so now we're at number 5. Sleep. I'm not good at it. I am not good at sleeping for whatever reason. It's hard for me to get much more than 7 hours. And a lot of times I'll wake up at, in the middle of the night, struggle getting back to sleep for 45 minutes, then I'll get back to sleep. But getting yourself ready to sleep, again, I don't do a good job. I have a demanding job. I have wife and kids, but really trying to prioritize that helps manage your cortisol levels. For a lot of us, that's probably the weakest thing in our daily regimen is managing our sleep or getting good quality sleep for 7 to 9 hours. I try to get better at it, but I'm not good, and that's something I'm going to focus on over the next few months and see what that looks like. Turn the screens off, an hour before bed, a half hour before bed at least. Start to bring the stress, start to bring your own energy down, preparing yourself for sleep. That is my goal over the next couple months, to see if I can get better at it. And then, if you stuck around this long, I really appreciate it. I'm a new channel, just kind of getting started here, This is a part of a series I have, Zone 2 Talks, where I'm just in a Zone 2 day workout, and I have a topic that I want to talk about. I'm doing it on Zwift right now. I may this summer look into some of these Zone 2 Talks, doing them, on my bike out on the bike path. So yeah, if you're enjoying this, I really appreciate it. If you give me a like, a subscribe. I'm a small channel just trying to grow a little bit, create a community of people that want to talk about health and fitness, some lifestyle things, balancing work, kids, that kind of stuff, other activities that may be out there, as well as some mental health, right? Trying to stay mentally strong as well as physically strong is really important. So yeah, it's Fit After 40 Velo. So yeah, I'd really appreciate a like and a subscribe, comment. I'll respond to all your comments for sure. So yeah, really appreciate it. All right, and the bonus habit. Make it a habit to exercise. Find time, whatever that is. It's hard, I know. It's hard for me. I haven't done well the last 3 weeks. Either illness, work, family obligations, all those things have been this comedy of errors for me, and it's gotten in the way where, I'll ride, I'll do a good workout, and then I'll have to go 3 or 4 days without anything. And that, for me, that's not what I want. My goal is every other day doing something on my bike, and then that 2 to 4 times a week doing some calisthenic, some weightlifting stuff as well. But make a habit of working out. And if you're just starting out, I support you. I know where you're at. I started out a few years ago after being a cigarette smoker for a long time, like 12 or 14 years, whatever it was. And I was disappointed in myself. I couldn't believe how far I'd let myself go. I was still fairly slim. I just was a smoker, and I couldn't run, I couldn't bike. I used to be a sub 16-minute 5K runner in high school. And when I tried biking, I couldn't make it halfway to where I thought I wanted to go up a hill. So I'd end up and have to stop and walk. So I've made it a priority for the last 5 or 6 years, 7 years, whatever it's been now. I'd have to go back and look, but I've made it a priority to exercise. The consistency is where I've gotten to now. I am consistently working out at least on my bike 3 times a week. And then the other weightlifting stuff, it's coming along better, 2 to 4 times a week. Sometimes, yeah, you're gonna have a week down here and there, which is okay. You can't work out. You can't go from nothing to 7 days a week working out and not expect to have some sort of injury. You will get hurt, and then you'll be down for 4, 5, 6, 8 weeks. And being down for those 8 weeks, that's gonna take your habits away. Your eating is gonna suffer, your steps will suffer, your weights will suffer, your workouts will suffer. All those things will suffer if you have to go down because you've injured yourself going out too hard. So yeah, that's my take on how to get to 20% body fat or less. I'm so close. I'm pretty darn close. I'm like 22% right now. So a few more pounds to go here, and I'm gonna be under that 20%, and then I'm gonna keep going. I feel 18% is probably pretty darn healthy. Once you get to 20, it's hard to get much lower. Unless you, it's not hard. People do it all the time. But it takes a lot more commitment, a lot more time, a lot more on the eating side. So yeah, this is Fit After 40 Velo. Hope you had a good time. Hope you stick around and be a part of the community that we're trying to create here.